Hey, Ray.
Hey Sam, how are you doing?
Oh, busier than a one-armed coat hanger.
I thought it was a wallpaper hanger or something like that. Wasn't that the old
Something like
saying?
that. Whatever.
Coat hanger.
Yeah. Jeez.
You know,
Yeah. Busy, busy, busy. How about you?
it's been an incredible year so far, and it's just trying to keep up is a challenge. I'm up to I think 11 clients now, and everybody's got their unique needs, and it's all fantastic. It's fun, but it keeps you up till the wee hours of the morning, trying to get this all done, which is great, But
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. No,
yeah,
I get it.
it's been a lot of fun. So how's things over at Bora? Is it you getting everything kind of whipped into shape and
Fast-paced. Yeah. Lots of stuff going on. Um, some very exciting things that has been keeping me busy since kind of mid-November. I haven't really had a chance to do my day job. Um, So, everything from incorporating a company here in Canada to setting up payroll in the US so I can hire more people to getting the marketing going, um, all of that stuff. So it's been very, very hectic, and there's a major initiative ongoing right now that in the next few months could transform or change the face of the entire company, transform the industry, I think.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Something will catapult us into a larger discussion in terms of, a major player in the OSD space. So, yeah.
that's exciting. That's really exciting. That you probably can't tell me what that is or any
If I told you,
details.
I'd have to kill you, but it's a pretty big initiative. Major dollars, and then we're also looking at, filling in the gaps in terms of the current capabilities that we have now, in Taiwan, you know, looking at adding maybe high potency, maybe spray drying, maybe adding some other things that could kind of fill in the gaps there. And then another major initiative, the other major initiative would be here in North America. So,
That's fantastic.
yeah, so
You're not buying Patheon or anything, are you?
no, we're not buying Patheon. Nobody wants. Who would want to buy Patheon? No, nobody could afford to buy Patheon right now, except Thermo.
Yeah, the Thermo. Yeah, Thermo. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, that's exciting. It's got to be. I mean, you just kind of walked into a fantastic opportunity. I mean, you've been kind of. I've known you for what 10 years or so now,
yeah, about
and
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you've been kind of looking for that perfect opportunity, and it finally landed in your lap. So, well, not lap. You've worked your ass off for it, but congratulations.
Well, thanks. I
That's
mean, part
phenomenal.
of it's timing. Bobby was looking for quite some time to fill this role and couldn't find the right person. And he's a different cat. He's a very, very intelligent, very smart. Um, you're a real businessman. And is not backed by private equity, which was a big plus as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
he's really different, and his philosophy is he doesn't want to work with assholes. So it took him a while before he found someone that wasn't an asshole, and I hope I'm not an asshole. So
Never have been, never will be. That's
well,
phenomenal.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. So, yeah. So, this is a great opportunity. He was looking for someone to kind of help with this initiative, and I fell into it and hit the ground running, and immediately helped out. And so we've been doing that for the last 3 months, and I'm pretty close to landing Lonnie to come aboard. Um, so I'll be putting the band back together a little bit and just send him a job offer. We're working through some of the details. Mind you, I put the cart before the horse because we just got payroll up and running. So things like, so tell me about this 401k plan you guys have and the benefits you have. It's like, table that for a second. I'm just setting that up now.
Well, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
So
Yeah.
I told him some of this, and he's like, I'm totally okay with that. I said, are you sure? Like, are you sure? Because like we are putting our ducks in a row, and I'm doing this right. I'm going to make sure this is done right because we're going to add other people, and I want to make sure that we take care of our employees. That we can
Yeah.
pay them and we give them proper benefits and we're competitive and all that stuff. But kind of just working through it right now. So.
Hey, when you're ready, I've got probably the best salesperson you'd ever imagine that you could actually pick up in the oral solid dose space. So
Oh
when you're
yeah?
ready, you know Michelle. Do you know Michelle Calhoun?
No, I do not.
She was a VP of sales for AbbVie for 15 or so years. Used to be at Abbott, then it was AbbVie when they rolled over. Kind of handled the whole transition and built the sales team over there. And
Oh,
she was kind of caught up in a kind of a change over there, and so she
yeah.
actually took an early retirement. So she's actually sitting right now and doing nothing, but she's got years and years and years of experience and knows everybody in the oral solid dose space. So she may be worthwhile to look at if
Yeah.
once you
Okay.
get things
Yeah.
under control. And I'll introduce her to you, and you guys can have a talk. I'm not sure if she'd be interested or if she's just going to kind of sit back, or I don't
Yeah.
think she will, but she could be someone that could help you kind of in the transition because she helped with the transition from Abbott to AbbVie, so she's kind of used to,
Hmm.
used to working with a large company and then having a small team and kind of circling all the wagons and getting everybody in place. So when you're ready,
Yeah.
I'll do at least an introduction. I think the two you'll get along really well.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe there's something that, if she's kind of semi-retired and still wants to do stuff but doesn't want the overall responsibility, then be definitely interested in looking, and talking to her
okay,
anyway.
yeah, I'll give her a call this week and see what she's up to and just have the two of you talk. I mean,
Yeah.
she's
That'd be
not.
great.
I mean, yeah. So we'll get that situated. We'll get that set up so you guys can have a conversation. But very very bright lady, very intelligent, very knows the industry. Like I said, like it's her backhand. And she's but not the this matters, but she's also very very beautiful young lady. So
Oh,
she's carries
okay.
herself very well. So yeah. So.
Okay.
So I put a couple things together, sent you over a proposal, a bunch of documents. I want to walk through a few of these.
Yeah.
Uh,
Please.
so I've got. Are you seeing my screen? I put up a
Yep, I
screen
am.
share here. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to start with was the CMO perceptions interaction. So what this is basically industry standard research does reports every year on CMO manufacturing trends. Right. They break it into small and large molecule, API, and drug substance or drug product. So this is actually the CMO perception from the most recent one on small molecule drug product contract manufacturing. So I wanted to pull this up to show you basically kind of the state of the world. You know what I mean? So that is the space you're playing in, right? It's going to be the drug product,
Mm-hmm.
not the drug substance. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're currently, based on this report, and this is the report says basically, please indicate the level of familiarity you are with
Yeah.
these providers. And this was a prompted. So basically they put the names of the companies out there and you pick, right? So there's 176 companies participated, and this lists them based on familiarity. So you're up against Catalent, Patheon, Lonza, which is Capsugel,
Mm-hmm.
AbbVie, Almac, and GSK. Those are kind of the top, and Pfizer, the top 7 or so companies in the space. And
Mm-hmm.
you can see here, as far as I have, and you use this company CMO services, 53%, 46%, 27, 11, and then 27. So basically, those are kind of the top players in the marketplace. So when we initially talked, you said you kind of wanted to. This is where you're going to want to play, correct? You want to be towards the top of this list.
Yep.
Okay. So I looked at that, and this is familiarity, and it goes down through, and then it also goes into leaders. Of course, I figure that Patheon, Catalent, and Lonza are kind of the leaders in this space.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes down to the one I wanted to see, which is proposals. So you'll notice from this basically that the companies that are actually the top of the board for leaders and familiarity are also the ones that are actually getting the majority of the RFPs. So in the last 12 months, 158 people responded. Pathon, Catalent, and Almac got the top, got the majority of the RFPs out there. So I wanted to kind of show you that, and this kind of carried over from last year as well. I think the numbers really haven't changed much in the last 3 years. I was kind of surprised to see AMRI was at the top of the list there.
Yeah, I didn't know they were
but
in OSD.
yeah, they do a little bit of everything over there. And again, it's dependent on who responds, then they've done business with them. That's the key here.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to see this information, and then I wanted to jump into another document, which is going to be basically, I sent this over to you as well. This is actually a proposal snapshot, and you've got this as well. So this is a report that was basically kind of compiled from 2 of our contract manufacturing partners. I can't say which ones, but they are on the top of the list, basically. Oops, what did I do there? For the other previous study, but you can see here, these are actually projects with proposals awarded and then still open. So these are the deals that they've actually generated for our programs. So you can see here that they've closed 93 deals, and they still have 263 in the pipeline for close, at a total of 356 total opportunities that they were actually brought to us, or brought to them from us. So kind of aligning with that RFP scenario from us, yep. Confirmed projects proposed by 2 CDMO clients working in small molecule API, drug product, and fill finish. Now these companies do all 3, okay? So it's not a true comparison, but it's close. And the awarded project indicated proposal that was open in this time frame was also awarded in the same time period. So knowing these companies, the projects aren't small, so we're looking in the neighborhood of somewhere between $200 and $400 million that they've closed in business in the last 12 months from us. So
pretty compelling.
What I wanted to so what I wanted to show you that was to drop over to this section, which is actually showing, and I'm going to show you a specific company, Catalent, for example. This is actually in the last 18 months, they've generated 70,438 leads through the promotion with us. And how did they do it? It was through the thing that you've been talking about for the last forever, is content marketing, promotion, and then analytics. So, what I proposed to you when I sent over the proposal was to do a similar program, but it's a lot smaller scale than what they're currently doing.
Of course.
Just to get started, but it's basically the same scenario. The advantage you have over them is that you create your own content. So I didn't include any type of content creation in here for you. We can, if you want us to write for you, but basically I figured that'd be something you'd be able to manage on your own.
Yeah, I mean, we might want that at some point, right? But let's start small. I just got an email this morning. Last time I was in Taiwan in January, I proposed to our president of our Taiwan operations, Tom Chang. I said, "Here's a list of 100 questions I have. I need your people to answer these blog posts, right?" And Tom said, "I'm not really sure how this is going to translate into business," but he goes, "Okay, leave it with me." And in fact, today I just got an email back from one of his people saying, "We're ready to go." So,
oh wow,
it's like, great, thank you, Tom.
Yeah, well, the market's caught up to this, I mean, so basically, back when I first started selling, it was print ads in the magazine, and then there was the banner ads that kicked out that everybody liked, and then there was email blasts. I mean, but it's come to a point where all those things have pretty much been diluted.
Yeah.
So the way that we do it is a little different. We do it through newsletter promotions and an active subscriber base. So let me just show you here. So this is Catalent, and the other thing I wanted to show you too is consistency. Okay, so if you look here throughout the month, and let's just look at 2019 data. You could see that in June of last year they came back on with us, and they had 1,287 engagements, 2729, and 4896, 34. So we've actually started off at 1,200, and then kind of averaged off around 4,000 if you look at it per month in engagements. Yeah. The spikes are the custom newsletters. So basically, a custom newsletter is a piece that you own the whole newsletter, and it goes out to the entire audience that you've paid for in your audience access program. So the 3 sites that I proposed were pharmaceutical online,
Mhm.
outsourced pharma, and life science leader. So you would actually you would actually reach every one of those audiences with a newsletter that would go out when we ran the custom newsletter. So you're looking at 60, 70,000 people with one newsletter blast.
Beauty.
And yeah, and so basically so we want to try and maintain these as often as possible. But in the in-between months, we're going to be including you in 3 newsletters per month, kind of in the middle. So you're not going to see a start and stop. We're going to start with a newsletter. I would recommend putting it kind of towards the end of the month, because that's going to get leads for the end of the month, and then in the beginning of the month, we'll carry the leads through until the next custom newsletter goes out. But basically, you're going to have a steady flow of engagements throughout the whole period. And it's kind of showing what they're able to do here as well. So the other thing was by site. I included the 3 sites just because, like I said, if you add you have 1 site, you're going to get 3 newsletter inclusions. If you have 2 sites, you get 6. And then the third, if it's third, then you actually get to pick up that audience as well, where Life Science Leader doesn't include newsletter inclusions, but you get, whenever you run the custom newsletters, you're going to reach them. So your audience grows. So that's, you can see that basically their biggest sites are bio and farm.
Yep.
And outsourced pharma, which I would recommend, again, farm and outsourced.
Yeah.
And the LSL is in there as well. So this is actually showing, this is kind of a neat process here. This is showing basically engagements from the different ways. So, basically if we take this out where it says all, now all is basically just search. So that's when a reader actually comes to the site looking for a specific topic, or they come from they're on the site and they just do a keyword search on the site and they find you. So you can see there it's relatively small. It's 27 to 123 being the highest.
Mm-hmm.
The next area is editorial. And that's when we start to do the newsletter inclusions. See how high it jumps up?
Wow.
And then we add the custom newsletter on top of that, and then you see the numbers go through the roof. So it's all distribution and capture is what we're doing with these different programs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I could go in and dig in some details, but I thought the easiest one to do would be to go through somebody we're both familiar with, if I can find it. Oh boy, I just had it open. Oh, here we go. Company that you're familiar with is CCRM, right?
Of course.
Okay. All right. So, and they've only been live for a little over a month now. I think November, December, and then January. So it's been almost 3 months now total they've been running.
Yeah,
right?
almost. Yeah, it was like mid-November, so 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that period of time, and they have the basic program, right? They have 3 newsletter inclusions per month, unlimited content posting to the site, right? So they've got a lot of good content. So that's picking up for it, and they're only on 1 site. So I got a call from Naga the other day, and he said, Ray, my executive management wants to learn a little bit more about the spreadsheet. Can you put an index in here? And I said, okay. So I did. And they said, so how does this all work? And I said, well, we started off with interactions, right?
Excuse my language.
Okay.
Oh God.
All right.
Oh, keep going.
How many? Are you familiar with gold mining? Have you ever watched like Gold Rush or any of the different gold mining
Yeah, of course.
shows?
Yeah.
All right. It's called a sluice box. So I tried to explain that to him. He didn't know what a sluice box was, right?
Oh God.
So interactions is a sluice box. So we've identified a field that is rich with gold, but you're going to have to move a lot of dirt through it in order to find the gold. So the interactions is just, what does the field look like, right?
Yeah.
Then we get into target engagements. Now this is actually sluicing it down to just the farm and bio companies that have been engaging with your content. So we went from 1,081 down to 390. All right, so 390 is pretty good, right?
Jesus, in
That's going to
3
tell you.
months? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. But the key there is I don't care about that. I just want to have just a standard viewpoint of what's going on. The next one is actually key personas. Now, the way I got that was they sent me their target database.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
I look at the key personas and I started actually to see who is engaging with their content that has that they care about, has molecules that they want to work with, and so forth. And I was able to identify this list, which is about roughly 23 or a little more than that. There's so many different companies, like 23 or 29 companies. But you can see here now that basically through the engagements, you've got the Senior Director of Manufacturing, Senior Director of Science and Technology, a Project Manager, the Vice President Quality Assurance, all engaging with your content, all within a 1 month period of time. You know, so my goal for you would be able to use analytics to be able to identify the opportunities as we sluice through that you guys can actually contact or nurture.
Yep.
And then maybe we set the other ones on the back burner. You know, this one here,
Yep.
Allergex, you know, one engagement. I'd like to have more than one before we actually have a salesperson call them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll come up with some processes to be able to get those folks to engage. But when
Right.
they saw this, now I got a conference call with the chief operating officer and the VP of business development because they really want to know what this is all about because, you know, they just didn't know what it was. And then we're also doing net new key personas. Whenever a new group comes in, I report to them. I send this over to them so they get into CRM. And then we've got their newsletter promotions. And then basically you can see that, you know, we're including them, you know, in 3 or sometimes even 4 newsletters per month on just the one site.
So you had a call with Mitch and Yana?
Not yet. Nope. I have a call scheduled for next Tuesday at 4 with the whole group. Not the CEO, but there's the COO and then
Yeah, Mitch. Yeah, Mitch Silviotti and Yana and the whole group, right? Yeah.
yep. There's me. I think 5 people on the call,
Okay.
but they're pretty happy with the results so far.
Well, so I heard from Yana that you know Mitch heard about this and so now he wants to be copied on every single one of these reports that you send over to them. Because
Yeah.
Mitch, so to give you some background, Mitch does not believe in marketing at all. It took me 8 months to convince him that we should do some marketing.
Yeah.
You know, he's of the old school of, you know, just give me a good sales rep with a Rolodex and that's all we need. And he's a young guy too. It's not like
Yeah.
he's an older guy, but it's so for him to you know be interested and want to sit in on this is big, but you're gonna have to educate him a little bit.
Sure. Sure. And like I said, they're running, you know, pretty much the basic program. You know, I don't know what their budget looks like or anything like that. And so I'm just, you know, we're going to continue the program and see however
Yeah.
I can help them. And whenever I get them on the phone, I try and walk them through a little bit about what I know. And I think the big thing for them was when I had Steve on the phone and we went through the key personas. He had never really kind of equated it down to here until he looked at it. He kept saying, "Oh, these are good people. These are exactly who we need to connect with." And
Yeah.
you know, he was pretty impressed. So this is what I envision for Bora.
Yeah. It's
Now I
exactly what I
included
want.
in, yeah. Now the thing is that this is actually just kind of a me doing it, but in your proposal, I actually plugged in our analytics group to actually handle this professionally. So they're going to give you this report, but this report will be on steroids, and it'll also include your engagements and how many other engagements they've had with other CMOs. It'll include reports on specific companies. It'll give you what are your top performing pieces of content. You know, what are the top performing pieces of content from your competitors. You know, they're going to be able to pull in the analytics from the data that we're going to pull for you into the system. And so really it'd be me and a whole team of analytics will be working with you on this program as well.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
not cheap, but it's going to basically take it from, you know, this ground is fertile to here's the gold nuggets. And that's the last time I'm going to use that analogy in this call.
Yeah.
So if we, that's kind of what I'm looking at is basically, and let me show you what a custom newsletter looks like as well. I think you've seen them before, but let me just make sure here. We go to Pharmaceutical Online. So of course you're going to have, let me just first of all show you, you're going to have a storefront, which is nothing fancy, it's just a repository, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I do a search for AbbVie, for example, you're going to want to be able to find everything that AbbVie has available. So we're going to build a small microsite for you, which is going to include kind of an about us,
Yep.
and then it's got each of your product service categories or have their own pages built. And these can include all your brochures for each of these categories as well, or a standard brochure. So when someone clicks on an article, they've got request information or a brochure attached to it as well. We also basically optimize that on Google. I'm sure we didn't land it yet, but let me just take a look and see. Yeah, right there, Pharmaceutical Online. So we just
There
did a
we go.
search for Biologics CMO. That page is showing up on the site, takes them right to this page. If they want information, they click on it. So search optimization is included as well. But the thing is, basically, all of your content is actually going to be positioned. This is how we set up the newsletter
Yeah.
promotions for you on a regular basis. But the big thing is, like I said before, just the standard clicks are really going to be irrelevant. The main thing you're looking at then is the newsletter inclusions. and you can see that basically here's a standard newsletter inclusion where we have our featured editorial, but the industry insights are going to be clients' content that's going to be basically positioned in the
Okay.
newsletter. The key here is to make sure that you place a byline in there, because bylines are moved towards the top of the newsletter, where non-byline content is actually more towards the bottom.
Right.
So I can help you to get better positioning there. But again, if the reader clicks on it, they get the article, you capture the contact information in the lead, and we can start to do some analytics on that person.
Yeah, just so you know, we have a white paper that is very close to being completed, and I want them to chop it up some so that we can do different blog posts with it.
Perfect.
Like, you know, yeah, and so, you know, and we'll do a bunch of lead nurturing with that through, you know, some, you know, click throughs on or some, you know, call to actions on the blog post so they can get on our landing page and convert. But we could use the same fodder for this stuff, at least get going while we are messing around with the other content that we're planning on doing. So
yeah, actually, be honest with you, Sam, I mean, 1,000-word articles, 1,500-word articles, blog posts, that's actually what gets the most clicks on our site. I mean,
yeah,
you know, a 50-page report, you know, people may download it, but it's just
they'll
too much.
never read it. Yeah.
Exactly. So short pieces, you know, are the talk to challenges people have. I mean, in oral solid dose, there's a ton of them. You know, I'm thinking, and you think the same as I do a lot of time. You've got this whole thing with the coronavirus, right? So how's that going to affect shipping and receiving coming from China? And if in fact
Yeah.
you are getting some part of your compound manufactured in China, is that going to be a delay? You know, do you have a backup plan for that? People are worried about that. Having content that talks to that kind of stuff. Though it's simple, it's short, you know, it may be kind of playing on something that's going on in the market right now, but it works, you know, and it's not hard to create. Not hard to create.
Yeah.
So you'll be those types of newsletters, and then basically, if I go back and I look at the standard or the custom newsletter, this is what this looks like. So you have a title, which is actually going to be, you know, I'm not sure what the title was. But, oh yeah, optimizing drug product formulation. The title of the article is drug product development, and then this company has, you know, here 4 articles that are basically on that topic. And if you click on one, it's coming from Thermo. That automatically generated an inquiry for you, an engagement for you, which we can start to nurture. And the reader gets the information, no gates, nothing actually needed to be there as well. So in the proposal, I included 6 of these. Again, it's customized. We don't have to do 6. The whole program can be scrapped. You can only do one thing or another. I didn't know what your budget was, so I just put together.
Yeah, no,
2
throw
plans
everything
that
in and
work.
then we can start. I mean, if this initiative goes through, so I'll give you a little bit of background. I was asked to put together an entire sales and marketing strategy, which I did, that would incorporate this initiative. Bobby loves it. But we're not going to go ahead with a full program. And I'm you know, asking for a shit ton more money in sales and marketing.
Okay.
So right now he's saying, well, let's do half. And then if we land this other thing happens, then absolutely you've got the entire budget. So we may have to start with not the full program, depending on what the cost is. I do have, he has given me more money. He's doubled what the original marketing budget is, but you know, want to be judicious with it also and make sure that we have enough for some other things. But, you know, we're going to be hitting it big, you know, if this initiative does happen, which we're down to the short strokes on it. So in the next month, I would say, we might be making a big announcement. So, you know, at that point, we're going to have to hit the ground running. So I want to get something in place, because better to have momentum and, you know, start something like this. Either way, this makes sense for us. I mean, regardless, it makes sense for us.
Sure. So if we take a look at the proposal, it's kind of what you're talking about. It's actually broken down. I got the definitions and everything. You can read through those. But I put an option 1 and then an option 2. You know, basically it's audience access on outsourced pharma and pharmaceutical online. to get access to Life Science Leader magazine, you have to run 4 full-page ads. So that means that
Mhm.
basically your newsletters are going to go out to Life Science Leader as well. Plus, I think that you guys need a little brand awareness as well. So print ad here and there is
Yeah.
not a bad idea. You
Yeah.
know, again, if we needed to, the 4 full-page ads could be pulled out. You would just lose that circulation, so we can cut back on that. So we're looking at
Yeah.
those 2 properties. I put 4 custom newsletters in the first proposal, and then the analytics. And that's really, I got 6 months of analytics in the first option, and that's a total of 161. If you pay it with one payment, it drops it down to 153. There's a 5% discount on that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Option 2, it's the same scenario with the online. So I think the communities stay the same and the platforms remain the same. But I increased the newsletters to 6. That would be one every other month. Full year of behavior analytics, and that goes to 206 with a one payment of 195. I also put in their data on ebooks and market research as well in there, so you've got that available as well.
Okay.
So, if we needed to start off small, this program would be effective. If we needed to start off smaller, we could maybe look at doing this, like a 6 month and a 6 month, or you could sign up for a full year. And if after 6 months you're not happy, you could walk away without any penalty. That's not a problem either.
Right. Right. Okay.
That's a full-blown package, including analytics, promotion.
Yeah.
It's all in there for you.
Right. Okay. Um, all right. Well, let me take a look at this. This is good. Um,
How does
so
that align with the budget you currently have?
I'm gonna have to take a look at it and see. Like I said, we want to cover the full year, so I have to go
Sure.
back and take a look and see if this, how this fits into the whole thing. Like I said, I haven't really committed to we're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be, a big, big leap up for them.
Sure.
But for me, I mean, why wouldn't we do something like this? This with the content that we're going to create is going to be, is going to turbocharge the BD team. Like if I'm going to add BD people, I want them to have, what I call, I'll use a military analogy. You need the air support, for the ground
Exactly.
troops, right? And without it, the ground troops are going to get obliterated. And
Absolutely.
so something like this, would really, really make sense. So, um,
Yeah.
I mean, if it was up to me, I'd say, yeah, let's do it right now. But I have to go back and take a look. So I appreciate all that because it's really, really compelling. I mean, your product is by far the best, and I was talking to Lonnie about it too. And I said, this is what I'm thinking of doing. And I've got Ray looking at some stuff. He goes, oh, absolutely. He goes, he said, you guys get it the most out of any of the other, media companies out there. I mean, especially with the lead nurturing, I don't see this anywhere else, right? Nobody else gets
Yeah.
it quite like this. And what you've been able to do for CCRM is gold.
Well, that's great to hear.
You know,
Well, then, it's perfect. I mean, again, we're old salespeople like everybody we're trying to sell to, so we actually just put together programs that we would like to have working for us. So I
yeah,
mean, if I'm a sales guy and I got to go through 1,500 leads to find one good one, it's going to kill me. I
yeah,
want someone that does that work for me. Does kind of cleans it up for me a little bit. If
yeah,
there's just lots of stuff. I included in the campaign or in the email, I included this case study, which you can share with Bobby as well. And this is basically a progressive growth of the partnership. You can see that when they started, this is
yeah,
sales revenue per full-time marketing employee. In 15, it was actually somewhere about $500,000 or $5 million. 2017, they were over 60 million in revenue. I also included a engagement comparison. You've got that as well. And this
yeah,
just shows from the types of the programs, CMOA, 29,000 engagements down to CMOF with 890. And what they did, 2 audiences, not much promotion, just give you that feedback as well. And then I included a report, which is an Eli report, which is basically kind of breaking down what we talked about it. There's a company called Concert Pharma. These 2 people engaged with their content. Here's some people that you haven't engaged with yet. And what's kind of an overall snapshot of their engagements over a 12-month or 18-month period of time. And you can see the spikes or what you're looking for. And
yeah,
then you could see kind of some information about their press release, what's going on with their compounds, and then who's reading what. So I can tell you that basically, this company is actually the Vice President of Pharmaceutical Development. This is the content that they've been reading to kind of give you some insight into exactly, where they're thinking. So that's included there as well in the program, just to kind of, you can share that with
Yeah.
him. That gives you the
Yeah.
insights.
Well,
And
and this
yeah,
is worth, one BD person, right?
yeah.
Actually, it's worth more than one BD person because this is self-sustaining
Yeah.
and it's
If
targeted.
you're working off a if you're working on a Rolodex, our Rolodex is 1.5 million. So we have a large database. So,
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
so yeah, so
All
take
right.
a look through everything. Let me know.
Let me take a look through. I got to wade through it all. Like I said, I mean, you had me at hello. I mean, I'd do this in a heartbeat. But obviously there's always a bigger fish they have to report to. So, you know how that is.
Absolutely. And like I said, it's customized. So if we need to scale down, we can, or if Bobby says, yeah, I want to definitely take on Catalent and Patheon, we can go up as well. So just let me know which way you want.
Well, that's definitely who we're going to be targeting post initiative, but we have to have something in place. I mean, for me, I'd want to have something in place, in advance of DCAT. I want to be able to start, doing some stuff, and we're gonna be more aggressive with, exhibiting at shows and stuff like that. So, planning on getting involved in Interfex. We haven't done that yet. Want to get involved. Well, CPHI North America we've done, but I don't think we've actually. The results haven't been great, but again, if nobody knows you, and right now, that's what I've been hearing as I go around, meeting people as part of my orientation. Most everyone is like, "Who the hell are you?"
Mm-hmm.
We gotta overcome that. This would help us do that.
Oh yeah, not instantly, but definitely. I mean, you could just see if you're having 70,000 people engaging with your content, they're going to start knowing who you are, and not only that, they're going to know who you are from what your experts are telling them.
Right.
From the content. So
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well, just let me know what you need from me, and
okay.
Basically, I think you have. If you need anything else, I think I attached way too many attachments to that email. But basically, if you need anything else from me for your conversation with Bobby, just let me know.
I will, absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to start sifting through this stuff, and if I have any questions, I'll get back to you. Otherwise, leave it with me, and I'll come back with some thoughts.
All right, very good, buddy. Well, listen, nice talking to you. Look forward to working with you. And
great talking to you too. Yeah,
tell Lonnie
we'll be doing
I
business.
All right, good. All right, buddy. Have a good one now.
Take care. Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye.